Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of the Study Abroad podcast. I am Sumit Kundani, your host from Apex Education and Overseas Consultant, a partner company of GB Education. And today we are diving deep into one of the most student-friendly colleges on the west coast of the United States, Edmonds College in Washington State. Joining us today is Ms. Sherna George, the International Student Recruiter of Edmonds College, who will be sharing valuable insights about the campus, programs, and what makes Edmonds such a great choice for international students. So let's get started. So, hello ma'am, welcome. Welcome to Apex Education and Overseas Consultant, a partner company of GB Education. So, I would like to start with the very first question. What are the top 3 reasons a student should choose the Edmonds College?
So there are quite few more reasons that why Edmonds College would be a perfect fit for students, especially in India. So, firstly, I would like to talk about the Indian president on the campus that we have. So, we have Dr. Amit B. Singh. He's an Indian and he's been the seventh president of Edmonds College. And it's been like a wonderful journey ahead with him because it's because of him that we have come to India, and we strongly feel that a lot of Indian students do lack that opportunity, and that is the primary reasons why we are here in India. And secondly, talking about the kind of offerings, academic offerings that we have, this would be a perfect fit for the students. Reason being is, a lot of students do give up on their dreams and hope that US is for the brighter ones, and it becomes like a difficulty to enter into the states. So we are here to break the myth and address this. And so students who are aiming even for top universities, they can start with Edmonds College, and they can definitely make their spot at one of the top most institutions or universities in the states. So Edmonds College would be like a perfect pathway option that can escort the students from India to US, and then they can graduate from their dream university. I can say that.
Okay, so I can say that uh, a tag, a student-friendly tag, is indeed what makes Edmonds College a good choice for students. Jumping to the second question, that is, what types of programs does the Edmonds College offer? Are there specific backgrounds or streams that align well with your courses?
Yes, so we do have a lot of academic programs that are offered by Edmonds College, but I would like to primarily begin with a high school program. So, high school program diploma is a 1 year program. So, students who are typically aiming to complete their 12th, they can do so by taking this particular high school program, and it's for 1 year. So any student who is planning to do their 11th and 12th in India, it's an equivalent of 1 year program in the States at Edmonds College if they go for high school program. Talking about the next academic offering that we have is an associate degree program. So associate degree programs are typically those 2 year programs that are offered, and at Edmonds College we have 120 plus majors to offer. So any student who is actively looking for literature, science, STEM programs, psychology, math, business management related programs, even engineering programs for that matter, associate degree programs would be the perfect fit. So once they start with an associate degree program, for 2 years they stay at Edmonds College, and then they are in an eligible position to take a transfer to the topmost universities. So that's all about associate degree programs. And lastly, we also have our very own degree program, which is Bachelor of Applied Science degree. So we have specialization courses such as robotics, artificial intelligence, computer science, information technology related courses. So I mean, we consider ourselves as a perfect fit for any students, like any irrespective of any major that they are looking for. I think we have it all.
So all the degree programs are offered in streams that are very much in demand.
Correct.
In today's era.
Absolutely.
And the high school program that you mentioned of 1 year, equivalent to the 11th and 12th, in India. So students who have completed their 10th grade in India can apply for it.
Definitely, definitely. They can come to us.
So this feels like a very good head start of their abroad studies.
Correct.
You and 120 plus majors for the associate programs. That is remarkable. That is incredible, actually. Uh, Moving forward to the third question, which programs are best suited for students applying after high school? But I believe I should also modify this question for the students applying after 10th grade.
Yes, absolutely.
So that high school program is only the one particular program, or does that have other options also?
Right. So let's say if a student completes their 10th, they can go for a high school diploma program. The only requirement or age criteria that we look is at they need to be 16 years of age. That's one thing. Secondly, the another important aspect of that comes with high school diploma program is the credits of high school diploma program are automatically transferred to the next level of program, which happens to be an associate degree program. And the credits of an associate degree program will be automatically transferred to the future universities. So you see, it's all interconnected, and that puts a student into a position that they don't have to look into all those processes or go through that. It's entirely taken care by us. It's just that the student needs to have a fix on their major and the future dream university that they want to go ahead with.
So this seems like Edmonds College has systematically laid a path for students who are willing to get admitted in top universities of the United States.
Correct.
And also, if the age requirement for students who are applying for the high school diploma is 16 years, would they need any sort of additional requirement when they are applying for the visa?
So I guess, are you referring to the English proficiency test or something?
No, so I just wanted to clarify whether a student who is going for an associate degree program who is above 18 years and a student who is going for the high school diploma who is of 16 or 17, 18 years,
Correct.
for both of them, the student visa process would be the same.
Yes, yes, it would be on F1 visa.
Okay, and because some of the countries like UK and Canada, if the student is below 18 years old, they have this additional requirement that a guardian is needed with the student to travel with them.
Yes.
So any such sort of requirement is needed?
Yes, yes. Initially, when they come to the campus, they can either be accompanied by one of the parent, or they can be accompanied by the school staff as well. But that depends from scenario to scenario, because primarily we give more focus or importance if the parent can come to the campus along with the student. So yes, definitely.
And the living arrangements for the parents is also provided by Edmonds College?
Yes, so we do have an on campus accommodation. So let's see. So when they come on the campus, usually we start their academic year with an orientation session. So there is a separate orientation session for a student, and there is a separate orientation session that happens for the parents, so that even parents are well informed that what is going to happen in the next 2 years. So, or maybe 3 years if they are coming for a high school diploma program clubbed with associate degree program. So yes, that is completely taken care by us.
That sounds really great. Uh, my fourth question would be, does the Edmonds College offer any signature programs that students won't find elsewhere?
Yes. Our signature program happens to be our Bachelor of Applied Science degree program, because that's our very own degree program, which we did, which did come into existence in the year 2020. So, under Bachelor of Applied Science degree program, we do have artificial intelligence, robotics, computer science, IT related programs. So this is because now let's say I would like to give you an example here. Now, let's say if any student who is opting for a major like aerospace or aeronautical engineering, for that matter of fact, Now, since we are on the West Coast, we are in the state of Washington. Washington state is very, very popularly acknowledged as a tech state. And just because of that, we have presence of fortune companies like Microsoft, Amazon, Boeing, Starbucks. Now, any student who is actually opting for aerospace or aeronautical engineering, they are in a privileged position to have that association with Boeing. So what happens here is we have one more achievement on our side is that we have our very own training and research center in the campus of Boeing. So students, if they want to have that exposure, like a hands-on training, while they are studying the program with us, it's very close to our college campus. So a student is actually in a better position to take that opportunity.
That is something I would say a very exclusive benefit that a student gets
Yes.
when the student enrolls at Edmonds
100%.
College.
100%.
A sort of feature, a sort of benefit, I believe any other institutes hardly might be providing.
Absolutely. And Sumit, also, I would like to add on one thing. Now, since we are talking about exclusively about Boeing and Edmonds College, um, the faculties that we bring in our college or the faculties that we have in our college, now these are industry experts. Now if you ask me why, is the ex employees of these fortune companies like Amazon, whether it is Amazon, Boeing, Microsoft, or even Starbucks for that matter, they are faculties with us. So it's not only like students are going to take away their they are not going to go away from Edmonds College just through academic training, theory, or thesis, but it's also they are going to get a lot of industry learning focused experience. So just imagine what uh, benefit and what more it can bring out in a student. So, yeah.
And advanced practical learning, I can say.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I have started seeing why the Edmonds College is considered a more student friendly and more exclusive in the state of Washington. So what are the admission requirements for the Edmonds College? I would like to divide this question in two parts. The first is what academic score are required for the admission, and the second is which language proficiency tests do you accept, IELTS, PT, Duolingo, TOEFL, etc. And what are the minimum score requirements for these language proficiency tests?
Sure. So, in case if a student is considering us for their undergraduate studies, they can come to us with their 10th and 12th mark sheets. No transcripts, it's completely optional. And we don't really encourage our students to go for any kind of competitive exam. So, whether we are talking about SAT, ACT, GRE, or GMAT for that matter, not required, completely optional. Besides that, we need to have a look at their bank financials. It would be better if they can reflect like 2 years I-20 cost to the college. And lastly, we just need their passport. That's it.
That's it. And there is no as such minimum percentage requirements in their 10th or 12th?
So, um, since we are a public college, we are an open admissions college, we don't really believe in marking our students. But still, if I have to give you like an average GPA that they can apply to Edmonds College, it would be 2.5 GPA. So we will accept and consider their application. So it is 100% application assistance, 100% admission guarantee. And yes, if they can have that clarity at the application stage that which university they would like to go, I think that would be like a cherry on the cake. Yeah.
So not a lot of institutes promise 100% guarantee. So that is a very good point. And talking about the IELTS, PT, and language tests.
Yes.
So I understood that the competitive exams like SAT and ACT are not required, but language proficiency tests.
So we do accept all kinds and levels of English proficiency test. So whether we are talking about IELTS, PT, TOEFL, Duolingo, we accept all. And the minimum band requirement that we accept for IELTS, it would be around 6 bands. When we are talking about PT, close to 60. And specifically talking on Duolingo and TOEFL, it would be somewhere between 90 and 100. Yeah, 90 to 100, yes.
Okay, that sums up everything. What is the tuition fee range for international students?
That's a very interesting question, and I get to hear this a lot because we all know about the universities. But in India, I have come across this um, trend that not most of the Indians are aware about the concept of college education, or I would rather say community college education. But in the States, if you go to have a look, that's the set culture. So let's say a resident student in the US, after completing their high school diploma, which is 12th, they prefer to go to a community college over any universities. But it's the rather reverse trend that happens in India because Indians want to go to those prestigious universities. But here's the catch question that, how many of us can actually make that happen? Because we all know the acceptance rate to most of the prestigious universities are not even close to 100%. So that's why community colleges or colleges come into the picture. And just to answer your question, the range of tuition fees that we have on an academic year would be $11,600.
That low.
Yes.
And this is for the high school diploma.
Whether they go for a high school diploma program or whether they go for an associate degree program, this is going to be their average tuition fee range for an academic year. And if I have to sum up the I-20 cost to the college for an academic year, so let's say, like, talking about inclusion of tuition fees, living expenses, books, and insurance, it would be close to 23,000 USD.
For the span of 1 year.
Yes, that includes the spread over 3 quarters.
Okay, noted, noted. And so, are there scholarships available? If so, are they based on merit, language proficiency, or other criteria?
Right. So, talking about the scholarships now, this is something that I would like to link with the quarter intakes that we have. So, since we are a public college, we are governed by the federal state government. So, it's mandatory that we have 4 quarter intakes. So, we do have summer, spring, fall, and winter quarter intakes. And depending upon those quarter intakes, we have different levels of scholarship. So we have merit-based scholarship, we have something called as President Enrollment Initiative Scholarship. So something to do with, let's say, like, if a student has 3.0 GPA and above, they are automatically eligible for this merit-based scholarship or new student international scholarship. Now, beauty is that, all the levels of scholarship are priced at $1,000 each, and that gets applied only against fall, spring, and winter quarter. Now, during summer quarter, we have come out with a different outlook for the students. Let's say, if international students apply for a summer quarter intake, the tuition fees are going to be based as per the resident tuition fee. Just to give you a synopsis, it would be somewhere close to $1,800. So, in that scenario, we don't really have any more scholarships to offer. So, yeah, that's scholarships linked with quarter intakes.
That is very fair, fair enough. Beyond academics, what facilities and student benefits does the Edmonds College offer?
Right. So last year, May, I visited the campus of Edmonds College. And firstly, I would like to start with the breathtaking beauty. I mean, Washington State is a green state, and there's so much of greenery that, any student who is typically not looking for a rural campus or maybe going for a semi-urban campus, I think that would be a great fit because the environment and the ambience of the location of the college is such that, it is having that peaceful, calm neighborhood ambience, and it's a 50-acre campus.
Feels like you are studying in a co- that institute from Harry Potter.
I would not like to say that, but it's a dream environment that any student can wish for because, there's so much of peace, calmness. The neighborhood is good, and there's 24/7 security on the campus, which is very important for the students to know about. So there's continuous patrolling done, and we also have good relations with the local police authorities. So that strengthens the security on the campus or off the campus, even when it comes to the on campus residency. So that's one thing. Talking about the college campus, we are on a 50-acre campus. Now, besides what the regular college has to offer, we have presence of Central Washington University Satellite Center on our campus. So, any student who wishes to stay back on our campus and continue in case if their major happens to be business management, or IT related, they can continue studying with us on our campus, staying on our campus. But the final degree would be awarded by CWU. And plus we have presence of University of Washington, Seattle and Tacoma campuses are very, very close to us, and we have most of our students being transferred to University of Washington, three campuses that include Seattle, Tacoma and Bothell, and University of California, multiple campuses. So it's a big thing. And besides that, we have presence of cafes on our college campus, and dedicated departments. Let's say, like, international students, something to do with their admissions, there's Office of International Programs. And I did talk about the president of the college. So any Indian student, or maybe any other origin student, if they wish to take an appointment with the president, they can easily do so. And he's a very warm person on the campus, so you can just walk up to him, have a word, and discuss. So it's not that typically that it's a very warm culture that we have set forth on the environment on the campus of the college, so that students can just feel free. They don't need to be like intimidated or something. So it's a very warm culture on the campus, I can say. And I was totally blown away, because you are in a foreign land and you have that high expectations, you have your own feelings, but when you get such a warm environment to work with, I think students would be really happy there. We have few of our Indian students there, and they do feel like home on the campus. Yes.
So this gives me a image that Edmonds College has to offer a bouquet of perks, including safety, exclusive benefits, and also association with major universities, nearby universities. Can you tell us about student clubs and cultural activity departments that help international students integrate and engage? I believe answer to this question has been covered in the previous few questions, including the one with the Boeing.
Yes, yes. So besides academics, students can sign up for the clubs. There are different clubs, and there are different days marked as per the origin of the students that we have. So we have students coming over annually, like 800 to 900 international students every year from 65 plus different countries. So from LATAM, South Asia, Jakarta, even except New Zealand and Australia, yeah, most of the countries we have our students coming from. And right now we are picking up in India. So obviously it is like a big effort for us. And talking about the clubs, we do have football, baseball, soccer. I mean, any students, if they can form like a like somewhere between like 4 to 5 members, a club can be formed. So depending upon their interest, they can automatically do so. And since we have so many nationalities on the campus, we do make it a point that every nationality, every origin is being celebrated. So there are dedicated days, even like assorted for these kind of celebrations. So yes.
So diverse cultural inclusions
Absolutely.
are also focused. That's really great. How does the Edmonds College support students with accommodation?
So we have a dedicated housing department. So in case if any of the international students come to our campus, we offer two different kind of accommodation options, and this is completely taken care by the housing department. So either they can go ahead with the first option, or the basic option that we have to offer is the on-campus residence hall. So we do have two on-campus residence hall, Rainier Place and Triton Court. Now they come with fully furnished apartments with 1, 2, 3, and 4 units of bedroom. So that's like a living area, which is it's a shared space, and then there's a pantry area. So students can happily survive over there. But the only thing is, when it comes to on-campus residencing, uh, we expect the students to be independent in all aspects. Like they will have to do everything on their own. So that's one thing. And there is 24/7 security, and students can only access to enter the on campus residence hall only with their electronic keys in hand. So it's completely safe. Talking about the next option that we have to offer is something called as homestay. I don't know how familiar we are with the concept of homestay, but if I have to take like a reference from India, it would be the concept of paying
Paying
guest.
guest, PG.
PG. So at in homestay, what usually happens is right at the time of the application process, when they are going for accommodation process, what we encourage is, like any international students coming to US for the first time, homestay option would be highly encouraged, at least for the first quarter. After that, they can take go on to live on the on-campus residence hall. But what happens? There are many benefits for in case if they are opting for homestay. So, firstly, homestay is getting to live with a local US family, and they get to choose their own local family depending upon the customization. Let's say, like few of them, they walk up to me and say that I want to live with a local US family who does not have pets, somebody who has a vegan dietary habit. So these are all customization. So we do put in those efforts, but then the time period would be a little longer because we have to find the right fit for the student. And the best part is, homestay options come with 3 meals per day, so they don't really have to indulge themselves or invest time cooking in meals. They can focus on the rest of the activities.
Exactly how it is being offered in India as well.
Correct. Correct.
You were saying something.
So it's more or less like, why homestay option? Because you will get familiar and have that understanding what US culture is all about. So it's very important you know that, because if you're coming to States, if you have planned your undergraduate studies, you have to get adjusted with that.
So this option eases your way into the US culture. And my final question would be, what resources and programs does the university offer to help students with the job preparation and career opportunities?
Right. So, one of the important department that we have on our campus is the career cell. So, this specific department works exclusively in the interest of international students, because this is where they can develop their own CV or resume, and they can highlight all the interesting facts and features that you would like to, and they can upload it on an internal job posting site. So that puts them, like to choose their pick. So that's made again simplified. And on the other hand, did you know that Washington state is again popular for paying the highest wage per hour for an international student? As of now, if I have to speak, we pay our students somewhere close to $16 per hour. So it's completely on campus job options that we have. And we make sure there is something or other job opportunity that is made available for every student on the campus.
I was about to ask that question also. So the on-campus job opportunities do exist for the students.
Absolutely, 100%.
So all in all, what I can conclude from this conversation is the Edmonds College is the most student friendly, the most comfortable pathway for students who are planning to enter in USA and get admitted in the most top rated universities in US.
Correct.
And you guys have, so Edmonds College has systematically planned their courses in so one question that pops up into my mind is the credits of the associate degree when they get transferred. If the student progresses into another university, so do they get that credit transferred there also, and whether their master's degree uh, is the credits are reduced down, is that what?
So, if I understand your question well, the credits of an associate degree now, let's say, like, the student needs to have at least 90 credits to be eligible to take a transfer to the university. Now, the credits of associate degree are automatically transferred to the bachelor program. After that, yes, post that, in case if they are planning to continue their master's program with the same university, yes, there is a chance that credits would be automatically transferred to the next level of program. That's what usually happens in the states.
Understood completely.
So there's this specific statement that Dr. Singh, the president of Edmonds College, abides by. So it's like, we don't select winners, we create winners.
That is really true. And with that, that's a wrap up for today's episode. Huge thanks to Ms. Sherna George for joining us and giving us a solid glimpse into life at Edmonds College. Definitely a place worth checking out if you are dreaming of studying in the US. If you liked what you heard and want to know more, just reach out to us at Apex Education and Overseas Consultant, a partner company of GB Education. We are here to help you make it happen. Thanks for tuning in. Until next time, stay curious, stay ambitious, and keep chasing those global goals. See you.